everyone. Happy Thursday.
How's it going? How's it going?
Doing good, Cyril. How you doing, my man?
Oh, doing all right. Still trying to get over whatever we got sick with last week, but it's a process. It's a process.
I could definitely see that. Yeah, and I heard you were coughing so bad you actually messed your back up. Really?
Yeah, I threw my back out yesterday, and like my ribs on my lower side are like absolutely killing me just from how hard I was coughing. It almost felt like the light version of COVID from back when I got it in December 2019.
Damn, that's not good. That's serious. And yeah, it's definitely no fun. But I hate to tell you, buddy, that's called being old. Welcome to my world, my man.
Yeah. I don't bounce back like I used to when I was younger. If I take a fall or whatnot, I lay there on the ground. I don't jump right back up. Getting
Yeah,
old, these bones.
exactly. I used to bounce when I was young. I've wrecked several metal motorcycles, slid off a roof once, and I hit the ground and bounced. Sit there, have a cigarette, get up, and go again. Now I just lay there. It's like, nope, I'm dead. Just put me out. I'm done.
Like call an ambulance.
Exactly. Just call the coroner. Make it easy.
Yeah.
BTK, my man.
Skip a
How
step.
you doing, brother?
What's up, BTK?
And by the way, BTK, you're gonna love this. One of my favorite shirts. So, journeyman electrician, only because full-time multitasking wizard isn't an actual job title. Yes, you should know that. You qualify.
Yeah. If that was a job title, I think I would be at least VP of
Oh yeah,
full-time multitasking wizard.
yeah, no kidding. And yeah, the crypto space alone. But not only that, you've got multiple projects. You've got KC Consulting. Then you've got a family. Then you've got your painting business. Like, oh my god.
Yep.
Mine says
Yep.
Fall Guy. I like that. Fall Guy's good. Okay, I'm good with Fall Guy. David, my man, how you doing, brother?
Welcome,
David from the
welcome.
right. One of my favorite places to hang out. The Pillars community. Love their Discord. They have some awesome chats, and absolutely love everybody over there. It's an amazing place to hang out.
Yeah, they're okay. No, I'm just kidding. They're great guys.
Love them to death. Now, you guys viewing, okay, this is our first Thursday show. So I'm sure a lot of people really don't realize we've done this because they either haven't seen the announcements or whatever. But we are changing everything to Thursdays. And the reason is because Friday, by that time of the night, too many people they're out partying, they're having fun, they're doing family time. And also, we have a couple personal things that have to change our schedule around. So we figure Thursday is the best, but I'm still going to try and do some live events on Fridays just for the degenerates who have nothing better to do. So make sure to tune in. It'll be fun.
Yeah, so apologies for the change. I know we were usually on Fridays, but we think Thursdays will be good.
I think it will. Absolutely. And it's a good thing because I know Yabonks has his on Friday, and sometimes he wants to go longer. And I hate to just kind of put a deadline on him, or somebody has to choose. Like, man, do I watch Yabonks or Serenity? It's like, oh, man. You know what? Now we're okay because we can just flow on Fridays and let it go all weekend long if we want to.
Well, you have fun with that.
Oh, no. You're totally going along. At least you can pop in. In fact, I might have to have you pop in tomorrow just to explain some stupid things on trading that I have no idea what I'm doing. So BTK says, I had to learn to climb towers because nobody can yell at me up there. Hey, that's a good, safe thing. A couple hundred feet in the air, you can't hear him anyway. It's like, catch. Throw something at him. It'll be fun.
Yeah, there you go. If they start trying to yell at you, you just drop a couple of screws or something. I'm sure they'll feel
There you
that.
go. Wire nuts, a 200-foot drop. They got to hurt. It's okay. Throw a few wire nuts at them. You'll be fine.
It's like throwing quarters off the Empire State Building.
Exactly. Although I hear that can't kill somebody. I don't know.
No, they don't reach terminal velocity, but still.
Yeah, too much wind, everything else. You can still spin on them and hope you hit somebody. Who knows? That's the little kid in me still. Yeah, tomorrow there will be a live stream. I'm going to actually be doing a beta test on the Foxify trading platform. I've been messing with it for a day or so. I'm not a trader. I don't fully understand it. I've got enough to figure out, hey, I'm doing pretty good on my profit and loss. So I'm okay. I'm surviving. How's that?
Okay.
But yeah, if you get time tomorrow, Sile, I'd love to have you swing in, buddy, just to answer some questions after I get through a half hour or so. If you would stop, it's like, man, this is dumb, and leave. That's cool. I'm good. Nothing else. Just laugh at me.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I know I have a pretty full plate tomorrow, so
Yep, I know you do, and so not a problem at all, buddy. There are no where-nots involved. That's why I love it. See, it takes all the fun out of it. You're supposed to throw at people. Oxify sounds
he
weird.
he's being facetious. He knows what it is.
He does. Who is
uh,
Foxy Finance? Okay, and away we go. So, Cyril, Mr. Master Investor, okay, we've got a deadline coming up here in just over a week on the Fed now. Now, there's a lot of hubbub about this. I mean, we've got the XRP lawsuit that's getting pushed and manipulated. We got Coinbase and these guys getting sued. I mean, we seem to be in a serious state of change right now. What are you worried about? What should we be worried about? What do we need to do to prepare to be safe for this? Give some advice here. Oh, great master.
well, as always, not financial advice. This is just my personal opinion. We're going to see some volatility over the next couple weeks. Something that is kind of flying under the radar, but there's been quite a few Bitcoin ETFs that have been approved recently by the SEC. I don't think they've approved BlackRock's ETF yet, but there was another one that was approved. Hong Kong has started, so China has started making steps towards encouraging people to utilize crypto. They're paving the way for their CBDC. So it's going to be an interesting time. Like, personally, I think that it's a little too early for the bull run, right? They love having their little dead cat bounces where, it's going down, 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 and then it spikes up because everyone's like, oh, buy, 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 and that's when they sell, right? They take your money.
Thanks for that. Appreciate it.
Yeah, exactly. Bring it down to where they want it to be, and then they let it go. That's the thing with institutional money. They're the big players. They're the ones who move the markets. We're just along for the ride. So
exactly.
But yeah, David, exactly. David says, I think the space is super fun at the moment, and he kind of loves the chaos. It's absolutely great if you're an intraday trader or you like scalping. Anytime you got high volatility, and especially over the last week or so, Ethereum and Bitcoin have just been kind of ranging, right? Which is great for swing trading. Once it's established that nice range, you just buy when it's near that bottom of the range, sell when it's to the top, short it if you want, Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's sideways consolidation. Traders love it.
That makes sense. And yeah, I know enough about trading to know that I know nothing about trading. That's about the extent of it. I get dangerous. That's all there is. So yeah, tomorrow's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm gonna see if I can get wrecked or get rich, or hell, who knows? It'll be interesting. But now as far as the whole Fed now and Social Security and retirement, what do you see as far as transitioning? Because I know there was just something about one of the federal institutions that sends out the COVID checks. I forget what the name of the establishment was. Something financial, something of America, whatever, is moving to the Fed Now system. So do you see a drastic change coming as far as affecting people's Social Security, retirement, things like that? Or you think that's going to be over a long period of time?
Well, Social Security is going to be running out within the next 15 years, if not sooner anyway. So I really don't think that's going to play a huge part on it.
Okay.
As far as the Fed Now, I think the reason why the Federal Reserve is trying to push Fed Now is because the U.S. passed a bill in around Thanksgiving 2020, giving the U.S. government sole rights to managing any central bank digital currency that the U.S. creates. It's essentially cutting the Federal Reserve out. Now, you got to think, the Federal Reserve has had this death grip on our monetary supply ever since they were, created.
Okay.
So I think they're trying to push Fed Now and get people to adopt and use it. That way they can stay relevant.
Okay, that makes sense. So is there any advice you could give, the viewers or myself or anybody who's not big into crypto, some advice or pointers to be prepared for, things they need to watch out for?
Well, we've seen that with everything going on with the SEC, they're trying to make it harder. They've already basically gotten a lot of institutional on-ramps and off-ramps shut down, right? If you had a business account with, any of the exchanges, now you can no longer deposit or withdraw actual fiat The retail section is still open for now. I know Binance US, they're having to shut that down, and they're going to a crypto-only platform. Like, they're no longer going to be able to have USD, so no more on-ramp or off-ramp for Binance US. The banks that they're working with that process their on and off-ramping are basically pulling back and saying, we're not going to offer that for you anymore because of everything going on with the SEC. So they're trying to find different processors that are willing to do that for them. But in the interim, they're going to be a crypto-only exchange. You can deposit crypto, withdraw crypto, but Binance US is no longer available for people to use when it comes to on or off ramping.
Right.
I still use crypto.com. Crypto.com still has their on and off ramping. Make sure you send over USDC because they take a smaller haircut with that than if you send over USDT.
Right.
But yeah, so that's something to be aware of. If you were using Binance US previously, you're not going to be able to really anymore unless you're just doing crypto trading with it.
Right. And I just got an alert that KuCoin, I believe it is requiring KYC now all of a sudden.
Yep. And then that's something else to be aware of too. Some of the exchanges are doing that just to try to cover their own butts. They don't want to gather the ire of the SEC and be the next one under the gun.
Right. Exactly. And yeah, I think it's just big government trying to control the little people. I mean, the people that have the money, they still get to do whatever the hell they want. It's the little guys that are going to suffer, in my opinion. That's just me.
Yep.
So, see, we had David ask a question here as where to go. What do you think of meme season 2.0? Well, let's take a look at that real quick, David. So right here, I just happen to have the price chart for Pepe 2.0. And what is it doing? It went up and it's falling back down again.
What is it with these people?
I don't know. What is wrong with you people?
Oh, I don't. So ultimately, here's the thing. Meme season is beneficial in the fact that it brings new eyes into the space, right? It brings new people into the space, and that's great, right? Because you need fresh blood coming into the crypto space to help with adoption and create larger communities. He's saying to look at Ape 2.0.
I am right now. There you go. Hey, look, it goes straight up and straight down.
Oy vey. Somebody got rich, and it certainly wasn't the people buying up there at the top.
No. It was a guy who started right here and bought a whole bunch, and he starts on 25%, 25%, 25%, cashed out. There you go, done.
Yep. And so I know that there's a lot of people making money and losing money during the meme season. I prefer to just stay out of it. If you want to try to play it, by all means, go for it. Just know that you cannot sit there trying to hold it, right? If you're buying into momentum on some meme token, get your 30, 40, 50% profit and get the hell out. You don't sit there and try to hold it. If you do, you are going to be someone else's exit liquidity. So just be very careful when it comes to any kind of meme season.
Yeah, and never invest more than you're willing to lose. I mean, it's basically a crapshoot. I mean, you're throwing the dice, but then sit on that chart because as soon as you see it dip a little bit, dump it, get it out of there. I mean, because it's not going to go anywhere but down.
Right.
Plain and simple. 99.9% of the times, it's going to do nothing but do that spike we just saw. It's going to go up and it's going to crash. And so, yeah, that's most of what you're going to see. There's 1 in a million shot. It's the next Dogecoin or something that's going to survive long term. But even that's not doing well.
Yeah, they're all kind of down right now. But that's the way it moves. But things like meme tokens, like Pepe and ApeCoin and all those sort of things, they do serve a purpose, right? They help bring people who were unfamiliar with crypto prior into the crypto space because they're like, oh, wow, I see that $27 purchase of PayPay that's worth $2 billion now. Of course,
Right.
we know that's just on paper. If they tried to sell that, they'd never get anywhere near that. They'd get maybe like $100,000. You know, price impact is a thing.
Right.
But it brings people into the space, and I think a lot of us came into the DeFi space initially for something like that, you know, whether it was
Right.
Shiba Inu or, you know, Dogecoin or any of those other crazy.
I'm Wonderland, or take your pick.
Right. But then the benefit is once they're in the space, they receive education, whether it's through loss or whether it's, you know, just from being in the space and learning about it. And then they start to realize, you know, hey, you know, maybe we should move away from the meme coins and go more towards the blue chips or, you know, the solid projects that are actually doing something. Some people wind up getting burnt and then saying, well, screw this. And, you know,
Right.
I'm never coming back to crypto. So, you know, there's
And that brings about, exactly. And that brings about a good point I want to discuss with you. So BTK, send it by BTC every day. Been doing that since last September. That's a great way to do it. Dollar cost averaging all the way across the board instead of lump sum, little piece every single day.
Yep.
One of our strategies we teach here. Definitely. So Dave Fly's making fun of you. Says the RMD whale. Yeah. I'm sitting on it waiting for it to spike up a little bit so I can dump up myself. So yeah. Not gonna lie about it. Plain and simple. Let's see. As long as people don't get burned too hard. Yeah, and that's what I really want to talk about. So, Cyril, like you said, it has a purpose. It brings new people into it. But here's the problem I see is bringing new people in, but the very first experience they're going to get is burnt. I mean, there's no way they're not going to get burnt. So is that really a beneficial way to bring people in?
So is it the perfect way to bring somebody in? No. But here's the thing. My first DeFi experience, I lost money, right? You know, I was used to traditional finance. I was used to stocks, blue chip cryptos, etc. DeFi was something completely new to me at the time. But I watched as what I purchased went way up in value, you know, and I made that same mistake that everyone else does when they first come into the space, and I kept holding it because I'm like, oh wow, look at how fast it's going up. It's going to keep going, you know, let's go, you know, to the moon, rocket emojis, you know,
Right.
and then of course, right when I decide, oh, you know, my $100 investment in this went up so much, let me go ahead and add some more, and that was the top, right? You know,
Right.
plain simple.
Yeah.
But even though I lost money on that, I was like, huh, that was crazy. And I bet you that we can do this again. And now I've learned what not to do, right? So a
Right.
lot of people, even if they do get burnt off their first time in, they're going to be like chasing that high again, but this time armed with some knowledge. Because it's one of the things about human nature is you're always going to chase that high of the win, right? And that's what keeps a lot of people in the space is chasing that high off the win, which is why to be successful in the space, you need patience and discipline and controlling your emotions.
Or you need a set of rules of who knows it?
Solvency.
Oh, see, they're supposed to put in chat. Man, you have a hell of a time giving the answer away.
Well, you know, they always get it wrong.
Okay, that's fair. Yes, rules of solvency. In fact, I'm going to be utilizing some of those tomorrow when I'm trying my hand at the Foxify, and I may have to get a copy of those because I'm sure I'm going to mess them all up. It'll be fun. But yeah, and that's one thing that I've experienced. It's really kind of comical because in my family, I got my mom and my brother, and hey, what John got it right. Gold star for John. See? But mom being 81, 82 years old, she's like, okay, yeah, we'll just put $30 in every month or so, and we'll go into this and a little bit into this. We'll see how it does. And if we lose it, that's fine. And brother's very much like I gave him some Thorn nodes, red, white node, one of them. Anyway, totally for free. Like, okay, here's your Christmas present. Here's this. What you build on, what you do with it's up to you. And of course, they're all draining down to nothing. They're like 5 cents a week or month or whatever. But long story short, his whole opinion is that, well, he hasn't seen any money out of it, so it must be an absolute waste. Mom was like, well, that didn't work. Okay, so we learned something. Let's try something new. So it's really interesting the different mentalities of how people take that first loss. Like you said, some people take it as a big black eye and they're like, "Yeah, I'm done, gone." Others like us, like, "Okay, I saw some positive there. I see some potential." And then we chase it. And now we're chasing the dragon like some weird drug addict on crypto or something. It's weird.
Yeah, mindset plays a huge part in that, you know.
It does. And yeah, so guys, never be afraid to try something new, and you're going to fall down. That's just life. But did you learn something? And if so, then it's an experience and you've gained something out of it. It's not a total loss. So yeah, always try something new. So, okay.
Yeah.
I just like that look. I had to do it. Okay, so first of all, how do we stand up into our point? Because right now the market's crazy. It's up, it's down, it doesn't know what the hell it's doing. How is our investment so far? This is episode 6. Is that correct?
I think so.
I think so too. Okay, so
I should
technically,
probably know that.
I know, me too. I gotta go count the YouTube videos. Like how many? Oh yeah, I had to put that on the tag down here. So that means essentially we've invested $125 so far into a crypto space, right? We're
Yes.
going to do another 25 today. So if we put that in our mattress, we'd be sitting with $125 right now doing nothing. What is our status right now in the crypto world?
$124.71.
Okay. Hey, that's not bad.
No, we're only down 29 cents, right? So
Right. And I mean, if we're taking a risk and people are looking at this, oh, it's gambling. Look at the news. It's so horrible and everybody's going to die and we're all going to go broke and we're going to live under bridges. You know what? We've been doing this now 5 weeks in a row and we're down 29 cents. I said, that's not that bad, guys.
no, and that's why we DCA. You know, imagine if we had put it all in at the beginning when everything was up higher, right? We would be down significantly more. But because we DCA $25 every week, the exact same time each week, you know, we've built this habit and it spreads out our DCA and makes it so that, you know, we're not like way down or way up, or, you know, we're at our nice happy. We're collecting our blue chips. We're collecting some solid, you know, DeFi investments, and we're waiting. We're accumulating during the bear market so that when the bull market returns, we'll be in a really good position.
Exactly. And just to keep everybody up to speed, let's go back to our rules of investing because I want to cover this because this is important. You know, this is our strategy that we started when we first designed this, which is we're going to do the $25 a week, 20% into blue chip, and 80% into the community vote. Mm-hmm. Now, Cyril, remind us again, why did we decide to do 2080? Why not do all of it in community vote or all of it in blue chips?
Well, because it's important to get into the habit of diversifying your money into some more, putting some into a stable investment, right? Versus putting it all into like a DeFi investment. But having your speculative plays, you know, in DeFi, they have a higher profit opportunity, like if they pop off or whatnot. Meanwhile, we're slowly accumulating our blue chips that will perform very nicely into the bull run. The DeFi investments, I mean, ideally, I'd be putting like 80% into blue chips and 20% into DeFi. But for the sake of getting people used to investing into DeFi, we're doing it the other way around. So you get in the habit of building your blue chip portfolio, and you have, you know, 4 or 5 DeFi investments that you diversify into.
Okay. And that really comes with experience, right? As far as when to put more into blue chips and more into DeFi. And it's not a set number. It's going to change depending on the current market, right?
Right. Like I believe it was on episode 5 where, you know, Matic had taken a real sharp dive, you know, due to some news. And, you know, it was on sale essentially. And so that week, you know, we posited to the community, hey, why don't we put it all into Matic this week? And we did.
Right. Okay, so let's bring that up. Let's see what the chart looks like here.
Yes.
I will let you walk us through it, brother.
Absolutely. So I updated the pricing probably about 20 minutes before we started. So we have our 54 Matic, which is worth $34 right now. We have our USDC waiting to be deployed this week. We have our wrapped Bitcoin, which I believe that was like $8 when we did the investment in. So we're up on that. We've got our wrapped ether. We have our sea gold on Arbitrum because that won the vote like 2 weeks in a row or something like that.
You did.
So, but sea gold is down a little bit right now because the US dollar is currently on a run, and gold will always trade inverse of the US dollar. Well, not always, but like 98% of the time, it will trade inverse of the US dollar. So we're down a little bit on sea gold right now, because like I said, we put about $40 into that, and then we have some BNB, which we're a little bit down on right now, but that's all right. So that's
less than $1 loss in 5 weeks, but it's not really a loss because we haven't sold anything, right? And that's another big thing to keep in mind, guys. It's not a loss until you sell at a loss. So if you just hold it and it goes back up, like our blue chips, we know they're going to do that. I'm guaranteed. It's just a matter of time. So we're not really lost. We just got a good sale on a lot of things.
Exactly. And so we have last week, we basically were down $5.58 from where we had been the week prior. So we were down 4.73%. And then we went ahead and added our $25 that we're going to be ready to deploy this week. So yes, we are on episode 6, apparently, not 7.
Okay, so yeah, that's right. Okay, 6. Yeah, we have 125. Yeah, we were right. I said 6. Where'd you get 7?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Yeah, so we talked 125. You said 124 something. Yeah, see, I remembered something. Hey, I got to tell the wife about that because I'm lucky to remember my own name. It's we won't even talk about it. Okay, so is there any questions so far about the strategy? Anything we've done? Anything that we have invested in before we dive into what we're going to invest into?
Yep.
If so, please throw them in the chat there. And also, I want to take a minute while you guys are typing in your messages. Want to let you know that we are trying to also broadcast this out to Kick, which is a new streaming platform. And apparently this broadcast is not going out. There's an error. I got to figure out what I broke because I really don't know. But we are also streaming out to Twitch. So we're trying to get this education out there. So guys, please, if you would, go out there, subscribe to this video, and tell your friends about us because we really want to educate. We don't want people to come in, buy this meme coin 2.0. It's like, oh, Pepe 2.0, I'm going to be worth millions, and they get burnt. If we can help them avoid that burning action, that would be great. That's what we're all about. Hopefully we can educate before they just dive in and get wrecked.
Yeah, that would be great. That way they know to DCA their way in to whatever they're trying to buy and DCA their way out when they hit certain profit targets.
Exactly. And so please spread the word, help us, help you, help your friends and family and everybody else. And let's get people in here for the right reasons, not just because they think, oh, I'm going to put in my paycheck and I'm going to be a millionaire next week. That's not going to happen. They're going to put in their paycheck and be homeless next week. That's more likely.
That's usually more likely, especially if you're just throwing it all in at once into a meme token.
Oh, yeah. Honey, I sold the car and I bought the Pepe 2.0. We're going to be millionaires. When you're divorced, too, you're probably beat to death laying in the emergency room after he hit you with a frying pan. And now you have nowhere to live. So you're pretty well triple screwed. Life just got really ugly.
I see John had a question there.
Yeah, let me bring that up here.
Pull that up.
Yes, my apologies. I don't remember what channel did you buy Seagold through. Okay, let's bring that up. Pick a screen. There we go. Sorry, I'm unprepared on that, John. So while we're doing this, guys, also I want to throw one more thing out there on the thing. We only got 4 votes for this last week. So everybody, please join the Discord and go into the voting category. Cast your votes, add whatever you want, and there's a channel below that to tell us about it because all these projects I don't know about, Cyril doesn't know about, so help educate us, help us learn about all this great stuff.
Absolutely. And it's important to note that when you add an option on the voting bot, let's say you want to have us vote for, a paper token or something like that. When you add that there, you have to wait a little bit for the bot to actually put that up as an option. And then you have to actually go back and vote for it. It won't automatically put a vote on it if you add it. So just make sure you're aware of that. Go cast your votes, make things interesting, and because we never know what we're going to wind up, buying the next week.
Exactly. And so if you don't know, I'm going to switch this real quick. I haven't forgot about you, John. I promise. So right here's the Discord, and this is the general chat. We're talking about that. And if you have questions, just like John asked me here the other day, it's like, hey, I got a question. I answered him, send him the forms he needed, no problem. Piece of cake, happy to do it. But if you go right up here and you see Rags to Riches, and it says vote here, simply click on that. You can either select one of them that's already populated or add your own choice, whatever it is. And then if you have something unique down here on the DeFi one, you go down here to discuss the vote. Tell us about it. What is it? Let's educate everybody all the way around. And keep in mind, you do get one vote for blue chip and for DeFi. So one up here and one down here. So you essentially get 2 votes. So, okay. Now, to answer John's question, I have this guy. I will throw that in the chat right here. So the gold comes from Collective Finance, an amazing team that I've done a lot of research on, dealt with the team a lot, done a lot of AMAs, and I'm a big supporter of it. And there you go. So there's the link right there. Anything you want to throw in on that one, Cyril? Because I know you're a commodities trader.
Yeah, so I like the fact that they bring gold to DeFi, right? Because having exposure to gold is a great way to hedge against the global economy. If you're worried that, oh, look, Collective Finance is actually tuning in right now.
Oh, look, hey, I know those guys. I'll bet it's Chrome. So you've got Doc, Crypzom, Chrome, and NP. I'll bet that's Chrome. Hi, Chrome!
What's up, man? So that's what I like so much about Collective Finance is that they do bring the ability to hedge yourself against the global economy, and get yourself some gold and have that in your portfolio. You don't have to go to JM Bullion and buy yourself an overpriced bar of gold or something like that. You can simply convert some of your Bitcoin, convert some of your DeFi holdings into C gold and add gold to your portfolio. Because if you don't have some form of gold in your portfolio, you're doing yourself a huge disservice.
This is true. I would have to agree. And I'm going to throw the Discord chat in there, or an invite to the Discord for Collective Finance. If you guys have any questions, go over and ask the team. They're happy to help you. Anything you want to know. And also in Down Home Crypto, you can ask Cyril, you can ask me. We know quite a bit about them, and Cyril's been trading commodities for decades, or a decade at least. A long time.
Yeah, don't remind me.
Yeah, we're still not going to talk about your losses. That it makes me creepy every time I think about it.
Hey, like I said, it's all right. I made that back in like a month, so it's good.
No, see, that's the crazy part. Yeah, 3 years of my wages you made back in a month. It's like, oh my god, it's horrifying. So there you go, guys. That's the Collective Finance Discord right there. Definitely hop in there, ask them questions, whatever you want to know. Okay? The team is awesome. They're happy to help you anyway with anything.
Now, let me put it out there.
Yes.
Let me put it out there.
Yes.
We have made it a point that on the Rags to Riches series, we're not going to shill or promote any particular project. The only reason why I'm okay with us talking about Collective Finance is that they're not really your typical DeFi project, right? They are bringing gold to DeFi, right? And I'm a big supporter of gold and having it in your portfolio. So, it's not your standard DeFi project. Collective Finance said that audio is a little weird on and off with Serenity. That okay. I thought it was just me. So yeah, I appreciate you pointing that out.
Yes, thank you. That is weird, really odd. I wonder why. Audio is off. Softly driving now. Now you're not hearing me at all?
No. We hear you. There's just every now and then there's you go like full robot and it's like.
Great. Okay. I'm going to have to figure out what that is. I wonder what I have open that is messing things up.
I don't know. Probably
you did that at the beginning too.
Probably the second time in a row that you've broken your kick stream.
Probably. Yeah, that would do it. Yeah, I have no idea. So actually, I'm going to go ahead and remove kick and see what happens there, since I know that's not going to work. Whoa, what did I just do?
You
Okay,
broke everything.
I thought I just crushed the whole stream. Like, oh my God, don't touch nothing. Sorry, my bad. Okay, audio is off. Driving him now. Okay, is that any better?
Yeah, I can hear
Okay.
you just fine now.
Okay, so apparently I had an error streaming to kick, and at the very beginning when we did the intro, it was really choppy for me, and I think it was trying to fight with kick to get it to work. So that's probably what it was. So I will figure it out later. No worries.
All right.
Okay, so back to where we were. And yes, that's a good point. And please understand, guys, I am not shilling collective finance. I'm not shilling anybody or anything. Trying to educate, share with you my experiences. But you know what? Don't listen to me. Don't listen to that guy. Do your own research. Decide for yourself what is right and what is wrong for you, because no one knows your situation except you. So, yeah, never take what I say as, oh, Serenity said that, I must go do it. No, dear God, no. My wife will tell you, do not do anything he does, because it never turns out well.
Well, at least your wife is honest, right? No.
She's lying through her teeth, but I try not to tell her that because I'm too cute to die. That's always my response.
That's a good response.
Yeah, I would say there's not a man on this planet I'm afraid of. There is, however, a woman, and I sleep next to her every night, and I wake up happy every morning because it's like, thank God I woke up. Yeah, she didn't kill me in my sleep. Woo, that's a win right there. That starts a good day.
Your audio went weird again.
What in the hell? Okay. I have no idea. My system has been possessed. One of these days, I really need updates, so I apologize for the horrible audio, guys. I'm trying to see if there's anything else I have open. I can close. Let me kick that. That's pretty much it. I've got nothing. I'm gonna quit Discord.
It'll
See if
basically it does that for like 3 or 4 minutes, and then it goes back to being normal. But it's weird.
I wonder what everybody else in the house is doing. They might be streaming or something going on.
Who knows? Maybe watching a show.
Maybe.
So
Okay.
go ahead and bring up the votes, and I'll discuss that.
Got it. And that button. Okay.
All right. So the votes for our blue chip investment was a 4-way tie. And as always, I will break the tie. And we went with Matic the last couple of weeks for our blue chip. So let's flip it up a little bit. And let's go with ETH. We'll increase our ETH holdings. So I'll break that 4-way tie there and go ahead and declare the ETH. And on the DeFi side, it looks like we had 1 vote for collective finance, which we've actually gone with them twice so far in our show. They wound up winning twice in the votes. So we bought $40 worth of Sea Gold. So we got 1 vote for that, and then we had 3 votes for Only Burns. So I guess we'll be bridging $20 over to BSC and purchasing some Oburn token. And then when Only Burns releases their Tinder staking pool, if the price hasn't hit our take profit, because remember, we set those rules where if it goes up X amount, we get 25%, sell it. There you go, right there. If it goes up 2X, we cash out 25%. If it goes up 3X, we cash out another 25%. If it goes up 4X, we cash out the 25%, leaving us with a 25% moon bag, right? But at that point, we DCA'd our way out. If it comes down 50% from where we buy, we cash it out, keep the rest of our money. I do know that Only Burns is working towards releasing a single staking yield system where we would be able to deposit our Oburn token, and that would allow us to earn BUSD just for single staking into their Tinder staking pool. I
And
know that they're working on getting their treasury to a certain point before they release that. That way, they're producing enough yield to be able to share it with all of their holders. So we'll see what happens. We'll go ahead and we'll buy our $20 worth. We'll hang on to that and wait for one of those targets to get hit, or for them to release Tinder, and then we'll stake our Oburn there and start farming some additional money for our portfolio.
perfect. Okay. And now we've got to be totally honest and transparent. So, in the likes of that, I want to throw something out there, guys. Now, I do not control the voting. And as you can see, it was not a tie for Only Burns. But just to be completely honest and transparent, Mr. Cyril Keir here is the CEO of Only Burns. So he is the founder of that project as well as several others. So, real quick, Cyril, not a shilling, but for anybody who's tuning in that has no idea what Only Burns is or what it's about, can you like a quick little paraphrase, just a elevator? What is it?
Yeah, so basically, due to the recent changes, which you can find on the website and everything like that, what Only Burns is building is a real yield system where people can buy their Oburn token and they can stake it to receive revenue share from the farming mechanisms of vetted and thoroughly under the microscope uh, researched projects. Yield earning, I know they're using farming on Arbidex platform, farming on Level Finance, um, and yeah. So essentially, as the treasury grows to a certain point, they're going to take half of all the revenue that it generates, and they're going to deposit into the Tinder staking pool, so that people can go through and start earning money in real yield at a higher rate than what they're usually able to get staking with other platforms. That's the goal.
Okay, perfect. And so, guys, here's the website in the chat below. Up here, you can definitely go through the white paper. You can go over here to the Discord, jump in there, ask Cyril, BTK, anybody in the community, myself. I hang out there a lot, and we'll answer any questions you have. But this is not showing Only Burns. This is giving you the information to do your own research. So get in here, definitely read the white paper, learn about the NFTs, learn how this project works before you say, "Oh, well, I just saw Serenity and Cyril, and Cyril's the owner, so I must have to go check it out and buy some." No, you don't. That's not what this is about. Please understand.
Yeah, believe it or not, I actually recommend to people. They're like, hey, I hear that you run projects. Which projects, so I can buy some. And I'm like, well, hold on a minute. Both projects, we're still working towards what we want to do, right?
Right.
We launched during the bear market, or the first one launched at the tail end of the bull market, right before everything crashed. So it takes time. And so right now, I would actually recommend to people wait until we're close to that goal, right? Because anytime when a project is not yet producing revenue, it is considered a speculative investment, right? And yes, you can get in early to projects while they're still in the speculative stage, potentially make more, but while it's in a speculative stage, it's also riskier. So, being that this is the Rags to Riches podcast, you want to look at it through the investment mindset. Be like, okay, is it generating revenue? If no, then it's speculative. And if I'm putting anything into it, it should be a very small percentage of my portfolio. If it is generating revenue, great. Do they have a runway? Like, is their burn rate higher than the revenue that they're generating? If so, then maybe I should stay away from that. If their revenue is higher than their burn rate, then that's good, right?
Right.
So it's a lot of things to consider, but make sure you're doing it through a proper investor mindset. Don't just ape in to anything. Always do that research. Find out, are they considered speculative, or are they considered a solid revenue producing project? And
Okay.
yeah, sometimes, if it's still speculative, you can hop in before they hit that point and, make it oodles more, but ultimately it comes a decision of how risky am I willing to be with my money for the reward.
Right. And that makes sense. Now, let me ask you something, Sarah. With all the blue chips on sale right now. Let's say somebody says, hey, I really want to get in only burns, but I'm going to take Cyril's advice on that. I'm going to wait. But knowing that it's currently on the BSC network, if they were going to get into blue chips, would it be wise to maybe collect B&B if that's what their final destination is? Or, does it really matter?
I don't think it really matters. B&B tends to be a little more stable than the other blue chip cryptos. Like when they're running, it kind of like moseys its way up a little bit. When they're falling, it moseys its way down a little bit. It tends to be a little more stable. So stability is what you're looking for, then yeah, B&B is a good pick. If you're looking to capture the volatility, then maybe stick with ETH, or you can get wrapped ETH on BSC.
Right.
So you don't have to limit yourself. If you do plan on getting into something that's on a particular network, but you want to get blue chips first, wrapped versions of all of these things exist on all the chains, right? So you can do that. You could already have your money there on that network ready to go for when you are wanting to make that investment.
Gotcha. Okay. And that makes sense. And that's one thing that a lot of people ask, like, well, I don't want to go buy Ethereum because the gas for Ethereum is stupid. So yes, you can get it on the Arbitrum one or BB or any of the other blockchains. It does exist. And if you have any questions on how to do that, jump in the Discord, guys. Ask us. We will show you. We'll show you our way. And one thing I want to point out is I've on the Zero to Hero series that I do, that I've run into a lot of people asking, well, I want to buy Ethereum, but I don't want to pay the gas fee. So how do I go about doing that? So many nuances, but the trick is there's not just one way to do it. There's countless ways, from bridging to buying on exchanges or central exchanges, 1,000 possibilities. Think of it this way. From your house right now, your nearest, Cyril, how far is your nearest grocery store that you go to regularly?
About 6 minutes.
6 minutes. Okay. How many different roads from your house to there are there that you could detour around and through? How many different possibilities?
3.
Including every driveway, every possible alley, anything?
Yes.
Really? Oh man. Okay, that's weird. See, our nearest grocery store is about 1 mile away, and I'm here in Boise, and so I mean, literally, there are probably 300 different paths I could take. Go to the stop sign. If I take a left here and then a right at the next one, there's like, yeah, I could make it a huge, messy journey or a really simple one. And it's the same thing with crypto. You can make this as complicated as you want or as simple as you want.
Yeah, it was funny. As soon as you asked me, I'm like, oh, I'm going to ruin his example here.
Yeah, you did. You just totally destroyed my example, guys. Yeah.
Sorry.
Thanks, Cyril. Appreciate it, buddy.
Sorry. Hey, if you had said the Walmart, not the nearest grocery store, it would have been a different story. Okay.
Okay, so we'll use anyway, we already made it past the explanation. So the biggest thing there, guys, is there is no one way. So whether Cyril says go this way and he likes bridging, I like taking it out to Mexi and swapping it and just kick it back because it's easy and I don't screw things up. But there's concerns with bridging, there's concerns with exchanges, there's all kinds of concerns. So do your research because there's a lot of different ways to do things here. Yeah, thanks, BTK. That was great. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't been to Cyril's house because I'm not cool enough to get invited like BTK is, who lives there like every other weekend. But we won't go there.
Hey, you're welcome to stop by whenever. You're just a little further away than BTK is.
Yeah, about 1,000 miles. But one day I am going to show up on your doorstep. It's like, okay, I'm here. I brought my tent. I'm staying in the backyard.
Yeah, well, we got a backyard for that. You won't be able to stay in the guest suite, but because I'll be occupied. But we got a back room.
Perfect. Hey, I'm good with that.
Backyard.
You got a garage? I'll just throw a sleeping bag underneath a workbench. I'll be good.
Yeah, that actually works because I actually did clear out the garage yesterday. So
perfect. Hey, there you go. And I'm not that tall. I'm a little guy. I'll fit.
I'll put a sleeping bag down for you. I mean, we got a pull-out couch, so.
There you go, man. That's styling in my world. Hey, Nicholas, welcome to the show, buddy. So, okay, now what do we need to do to update our spreadsheet? Let's go through that real quick, Cyril, because I know some people have been utilizing this, and maybe they're not familiar with spreadsheets. So let's cover this real quick before we wrap the show up tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And I actually had forgotten to update this last week, and I just put in this week. But that means now, since that's the end of the month, we can go ahead and update our monthly as well. So monthly, well, let's look, let's see. 142 is what we have in there. So 142.99. Boom. All right.
There we go.
Yeah, so if you are trying to download a copy of this, you're going to need to make sure you're signed into your Google account, right? And you're going to click on File, Make a Copy. And then this will save a copy to your computer. Well, no, it'll save it to your Google Sheets account. Or you can download it to Microsoft Excel as a PDF if you really feel like it. I highly recommend instead you just click on Make a Copy. If you just make a copy, then it will put a copy of Rags to Riches in your Google Sheets account right there. You can go through, clear out any of the values or whatnot, and start tracking it on your own for your own account.
Now, let me ask you, because not everybody has like Microsoft Office, which is what Excel comes with. Will this operate in the free versions that you can download, like free Office and stuff?
Like Open Office, I mean, it should. I haven't tested it, but the beauty of Google Sheets is that it's free, right? And
Okay.
that's what I have it built in right here, specifically for anybody who wants to download it and start using a copy for their own purposes. They'll be able to do that. You just click on File, make a copy, and then it'll put a copy in your own Google Sheet account, which again is free to use. So,
And that's one thing I wanted to make sure we weren't telling them, hey, you have to go buy Microsoft Office to utilize the spreadsheet. It is okay. So that is no longer an excuse, everybody. You have to start tracking because it's free. There's nothing you got to buy. There's no saying, oh, I got to buy this program for $200, so I can't track my investments. That ain't working no more. We called you out on it.
yep, it's free. So track your stuff, or the worst case, get yourself a notebook and, a pen and track your stuff that way. Of course, it's always easier with a spreadsheet, which is why we have it there available for download, and you can easily modify it to suit your own purposes. You don't even need a whole lot of experience working with spreadsheets in order to use it.
I'm not gonna lie, I hate Excel, I hate spreadsheets, they hate me. We have a mutual hatred. It's okay. I say, here, honey, it's all yours. Have fun. I can build computers, I can write some code, I can play with all kinds of, but for the love of God, me and Excel hate each other, and I have no idea why.
I don't know. I love making spreadsheets. They're my jam. So
You're a twisted man. Do you know that, Cyril?
yeah, I've been told that a few times.
Perfect. That's why we get along. I'm as crazy as bedbugs, so it works out good. So yeah, I think that about covers anything. Unless you guys have any questions, if so, please throw them in the chat down below. And as always, do me a huge favor. Take a moment, hit the thumbs up on this video, subscribe, tell your friends about us, because we're really trying to educate the people of the world. And I'm not just talking the rich people who know about crypto, I'm talking the ones that have no idea, the ones who go to work 9 to 5 every day. They live, they work, they die. They don't know anything else. So we want to try and open their eyes. So help us spread the word if you would, please.
Yes. Spread it like peanut butter.
Extra thick. I like it. Okay, so no questions are coming through. Hey, I want to say thank you to everybody in the audience for tuning in. And please make sure to join the Discord, cast your votes, share what's going on in the world out there, because, yeah, we don't always know, and we need your help to make sure we're giving the best entertainment we can.
Absolutely. And remember, that's the whole point of us taking the votes, because we could very easily do this show where, I just decide we're going to buy this blue chip and we're going to buy this DeFi project. And that's all fine and dandy, but that's me managing the portfolio. That kind of defeats the purpose here of, community involvement, where you guys get to decide how the portfolio is managed and we follow the rules. So you get to see what it would be like if you were doing the investing, following the rules.
Exactly. Definitely so. And so, yeah, thank you, John. And one more thing, guys. Now, remember, tomorrow, same time at 5 o'clock, I'm going to be doing a beta test on Foxify. I'm probably going to break it. I don't know what I'm doing because I'm not a trader, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So make sure to tune in and have a good time. Cyril, I want to thank you, brother, for taking the time, my man, and I will catch you next Thursday.
Sounds great. I look forward to it. And, everyone, tomorrow's Friday, so TGIF, and then the weekend, as hopefully you have a little bit of fun, and we will catch you all next week.
Have a great weekend, guys. Take care.